You might not talk about it much, but I know you've felt it. That slow heaviness in your legs when you stand up from a chair. That awkward shuffle when you try to move faster than your body allows. Maybe you've blamed it on age. Maybe on a lack of sleep. Maybe you've told yourself, it's nothing, it'll go away. But here's the truth. Your body is trying to warn you, and it's doing it in the quietest, most overlooked way through your legs. Most people with type 2 diabetes think of sugar first. Maybe your numbers are a little high. Maybe your doctor has adjusted your meds. But diabetes doesn't just live in your blood. It attacks your body's foundation, and one of the first signs is right there in your lower limbs. Weak legs, sore calves, cramps at night, a sense that your balance isn't what it used to be. You might catch yourself reaching for walls or furniture without even thinking about it. Let me explain what's really happening. When your blood sugar runs high, even for short periods, your kidneys try to flush it out, and with it, they take something else. Your minerals. One of the most important ones, magnesium. This one mineral plays a key role in over 300 processes in your body, including how your muscles contract, how your nerves communicate, and even how steady your heartbeat stays. And yet most older adults with diabetes are losing magnesium faster than they can replace it. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with a sharp calf cramp? That's not just a fluke, it's your body screaming for magnesium. Have you felt anxious for no clear reason, or found yourself unable to relax, even when everything is quiet? That's another clue. Your body isn't just tired, it's depleted, and the problem runs deeper than you might think. You could be eating fairly well and still not absorbing enough magnesium. Why? Because diabetes and many of its medications make your body push it out through the urine. It's like trying to fill a bucket that has a hole in the bottom. You eat, but it slips away. Quietly, daily, without warning. Now here's the good news. You can turn this around, and you can do it with food. Real food. Nothing fancy, nothing expensive. Start with pumpkin seeds. Just 1 ounce, a small handful, gives you around 40% of your daily magnesium. They're crunchy, easy to sprinkle on soup, yogurt, or even blend into a smoothie. They're not just a snack, they're medicine for your legs. Next, cooked spinach. 1 cup provides about 36% of your daily magnesium. Not raw, cooked. Because when spinach is cooked, your body can absorb more of the nutrients. You can sauté it in olive oil, pair it with garlic, or fold it into scrambled eggs for a breakfast that fights inflammation and supports muscle repair. Then there's avocado. Half an avocado gives you about 15% of your daily magnesium. More importantly, it brings healthy fats, the kind that help calm inflammation and keep your heart strong. Add it to toast, mash it into tuna, or enjoy it with a little lemon and salt. It's simple, filling, and deeply nourishing. And let's not forget dark chocolate. Yes, really. 1 small square, 1 ounce of dark chocolate that's at least 70% cacao can give you another 15% magnesium. And if you're thinking, but I'm diabetic, I shouldn't eat chocolate. Let me be clear, it's not about sugar. It's about choosing a version that's pure and controlled. A piece or two after a meal when your blood sugar is already stable can be a safe way to enjoy something sweet, without guilt. But here's where it gets serious. If you ignore this slow weakness, if you keep writing it off, you could face something far more dangerous than a few muscle cramps. Weak legs lead to falls. Falls lead to fractures. And fractures, especially in your 60s or 70s, don't heal the way they used to. A hip break can change the course of your independence in just 1 night. That's not fear, that's fact. And I've seen it happen to patients who only realized too late how fragile their foundation had become. I want you to think about something. When was the last time you stood up without holding on to anything? When was the last time you walked across the room and felt fully in control? Not careful, not cautious, but confident. If it's been a while, that's your sign. And remember, magnesium isn't just about your legs, it affects your brain too. Low magnesium levels have been linked to memory fog, difficulty concentrating, and even low mood. That tiredness you feel in the afternoon, the kind that no nap seems to fix, could be tied to magnesium loss. So if your body's been feeling slower, heavier, or more anxious than usual, if your legs get tired faster than they used to, or if you're waking up sore instead of rested, don't ignore it. Don't tell yourself it's just age. It might be age, yes, but it's also something you can do something about. And the sooner you start, the better your chances of holding on to your strength. your independence, and your mobility. Because here's the truth, your body still wants to heal. It still wants to walk, to stretch, to bend, to rise. It just needs the tools to do it. And magnesium is one of those tools. But here's the thing, magnesium is only the beginning. There's another nutrient, even more powerful, that most older adults with diabetes are dangerously low on. One that protects your heart, calms your nerves, supports your kidneys, and even helps your eyes stay sharp. One that might explain why you're not sleeping well, or why your wounds are healing more slowly than they used to. That's what we're talking about next. And if you've been feeling off, like something's missing, but you can't quite name it, this next piece might be exactly what your body's been asking for. You've made it this far, and that tells me something about you. You're not the kind of person who gives up easily. You want to understand what's really going on inside your body, and that's exactly what we're doing, piece by piece, symptom by symptom. Let's talk about something even more dangerous than weak legs. It's the invisible damage that diabetes does to your nerves, your heart, and your kidneys, all while you're just trying to make it through the day. The part that makes you tired, foggy, restless at night. The part that no one ever explained properly. It all ties back to something else. You're probably not getting enough of vitamin B1, also called thiamine. Now, if that name sounds familiar, good. If not, let me explain why it matters so much. Especially if you're over 60 and living with type 2 diabetes. Thiamine is like the spark plug for your nervous system. It helps your body convert the food you eat into steady energy. Not spikes, not crashes, but calm, reliable fuel. It also protects the delicate nerves in your hands, your feet, and your legs. Without enough thiamine, those nerves get damaged. And that's when you start feeling the tingling, the burning, or the numb patches on your toes and soles. Some people even describe it as walking on pebbles. Others just feel like their legs are asleep more often than they should be. But it doesn't stop there. Low thiamine has also been linked to poor kidney function and heart problems. Two of the most serious long-term risks for anyone with diabetes. When you're thiamine deficient, your body has a harder time moving fluid, balancing electrolytes, and keeping blood pressure steady. Ever noticed your legs swelling after a salty meal? Or felt short of breath doing something simple? These could be related. And here's where it gets even more concerning. Diabetes itself reduces thiamine levels. The higher your blood sugar runs, the faster your kidneys flush thiamine out, just like they do with magnesium. It's like pouring water into a leaky bottle. No matter how much you try to eat, you're losing it quicker than your body can use it. So, what can you do? Let's fix this the right way, with real food. Not pills, not promises. Just daily choices that start rebuilding your foundation. Start with sunflower seeds. Just 1 ounce gives you around 20% of your daily thiamine needs. They're crunchy, satisfying, and easy to add to your salad, yogurt, or even blend into a nut butter. They're one of the easiest ways to add powerful nutrition without changing your entire diet. Then there's black beans, a staple in many kitchens, and for good reason. 1 cup of cooked black beans delivers about 27% of your daily thiamine. Even better, they're high in fiber, which helps slow down sugar absorption. That means better blood sugar control and longer-lasting energy. Another powerful option, green peas. Half a cup of cooked peas provides roughly 15% of your daily value. You can toss them into soups, stir them into scrambled eggs, or serve them as a side. They're gentle on the stomach, easy to chew, and packed with supportive nutrients. Perfect for older adults managing blood sugar. And let's not forget pork, especially lean cuts like pork tenderloin. Just 3 ounces of cooked pork offers over 60% of your daily thiamine needs. It's one of the richest natural sources available. If you're comfortable eating meat, a small serving can do wonders for your nerve health and energy. Even something as simple as fortified cereal, the low-sugar, whole-grain kind, can help. Many of these contain up to 90% of your thiamine in a single serving. Just make sure to check the label and pair it with protein or fiber to avoid sugar spikes. And here's a little moment of truth. If you've been noticing that your wounds take longer to heal, or that you're having trouble sleeping through the night, or even that your cravings feel stronger than they used to, it might not be just in your head. It might be your body's way of asking for more thiamine. Because here's the thing, when your cells don't get the energy they need, everything feels harder. Walking, thinking, healing, sleeping, it all becomes more of a chore. You might find yourself saying things like, "I just don't feel like myself lately," or "I get exhausted so easily," or even "I'm just not bouncing back the way I used to." And if that sounds familiar, I want to say something directly to you. This isn't your fault. You've been trying, you've been doing your best, but no one told you that your body was losing something this important, day after day, because of diabetes. You weren't being lazy, you weren't overeating, you weren't doing it wrong, you were just undernourished. Now you know, and now you can start giving your body what it's quietly been asking for. And I want to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these symptoms: slow wound healing, nerve tingling, or trouble sleeping? If so, leave a comment below, because someone else might read your story and realize they're not alone. And sometimes, that one comment, your story, could help another person finally take their first step toward healing. You see, this journey isn't about perfection, it's about progress. You're not trying to become a different person overnight. You're learning how to support the body you already have, the body that's carried you through so much. And the more you nourish it, the more it will surprise you, with strength, with energy, and with quiet moments of peace you thought were gone. But we're not done yet, because even if you've started adding magnesium and thiamine back into your life, there's still a hidden cycle that keeps pulling you backward, without warning. A cycle that makes you feel stuck, tired, and even guilty. A cycle that keeps your sugar high, your nutrients low, and your progress slow. In the next part, I'll show you how this cycle works and how to break it, not with willpower, but with something much simpler. And I'll give you one more food that doesn't just nourish, it feels luxurious. Something that reminds your body what it feels like to be fully cared for, because you deserve that, and you're closer than you think. You've probably asked yourself this at some point. If I'm trying to eat better, if I'm taking my medicine, why do I still feel off? The truth is, you're not imagining it. There's a hidden cycle working against you. And it doesn't matter how much effort you put in. If you don't break this cycle, it keeps draining your body behind the scenes. Let me walk you through it gently, step by step, because once you see it, everything starts to make sense. When your blood sugar is even slightly high, your insulin, the hormone that helps sugar get into your cells, has to work harder. Over time, your body becomes less sensitive to it. That's what we call insulin resistance. But it doesn't stop there. Insulin resistance leads to more sugar staying in your bloodstream instead of feeding your muscles. That excess sugar doesn't just float around. It causes inflammation. And that inflammation damages the very cells responsible for energy, healing, and repair. But here's where it gets even worse. The more inflammation you have, the more nutrients you lose. Your kidneys try to flush it all out. The sugar, the toxins, and unfortunately, the good stuff too. So even if you're eating better, even if you're watching your numbers, your body is still losing the very vitamins and minerals it needs to fix the problem. It's a cycle. High blood sugar, more insulin resistant, more inflammation, more nutrient loss, even higher blood sugar. Around and around it goes. And that's why you can feel exhausted, foggy, and weak, even when you're doing everything right. So how do we interrupt this cycle? We start with nourishment, deep nourishment. Let me introduce you to the third key nutrient, omega-3 fatty acids. Now before you tune out, thinking this is just fish oil talk, listen closely. Omega-3 acids are different. They don't just support your heart. They don't just lower inflammation. They actually help restore insulin sensitivity. That means your body starts using insulin more efficiently again. And that gives you real results. More energy, better blood flow to your legs, less tingling in your feet, and steadier blood sugar. And guess what? You don't need to take a capsule to get it. You can start with food, and it can feel nourishing, even luxurious. The first is wild salmon. Not only is it packed with omega-3 acids, but it also contains high-quality protein that keeps your muscles strong and your blood sugar stable. Just one 3-ounce cooked fillet gives you more than 1,500 milligrams of omega-3s, which is over 100% of your daily need. You can bake it gently with olive oil and lemon, pair it with steamed greens, or serve it cold in a salad with avocado and herbs. It doesn't just feed your body, it comforts your senses. Next, try sardines. I know, they don't sound glamorous, but they're incredibly rich in omega-3s. Just one small can offers over 1,000 milligrams, and they come with the bonus of calcium and vitamin D, which your legs absolutely need. Try them mashed into a spread with mustard and herbs, or layer them on whole grain crackers with thin cucumber slices. It's light, filling, and blood sugar friendly. Another delicious option, walnuts. Just a small handful, about 1 ounce, provides roughly 2,500 milligrams of omega-3s in the form of ALA, a plant-based version. They're perfect as a snack, chopped into a salad, or even mixed into cooked oats with cinnamon and a touch of almond milk. It feels like comfort food, but it's medicine for your nerves and blood flow. And let's not forget chia seeds. These tiny seeds absorb water and form a gel in your gut, which slows sugar absorption and improves digestion. Just 1 tablespoon has around 2,400 milligrams of omega-3s. Mix them into yogurt, stir them into smoothies, or soak them overnight in almond milk and vanilla for a pudding that feels indulgent without the sugar spike. Now let's come back to you. Maybe you've been feeling stuck. Maybe you've been thinking, what's wrong with me? You want to move more, but your legs feel heavy. You want to eat better, but you're tired and confused by all the rules. You want to heal, but you're not sure where to start. Let me tell you something very clearly. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You've simply been undernourished. Your body isn't fighting you, it's asking for help in the only way it knows how: through symptoms, through cravings, through the pain in your legs, through the fog in your mind, through the fatigue that never seems to leave. And now that you understand what's missing, you can start feeding those parts of yourself again. Because the more you nourish your body, the more energy it will give back. The more you reduce inflammation, the more clearly your nerves will fire. The more you support insulin sensitivity, the easier your blood sugar will be to manage. This is not about restriction, it's about restoration. Imagine this. You sit down to a plate of warm, flaky salmon with tender greens and roasted sweet potato. You feel full, not stuffed, but satisfied. Your body feels calm. Your legs don't ache. Your brain feels clear. You sleep better. You wake up with energy you thought you lost years ago. This is possible, not overnight, but step by step. But the real danger, you can't always feel it coming. You might not notice the damage to your kidneys until your labs tell you something's wrong. You might not feel the damage to your nerves until your balance slips. You might not feel the damage to your heart until one night something changes and it's too late to reverse it. That's what we're diving into next. Because even when symptoms are quiet, the danger isn't. Let me show you what's happening behind the scenes and how the right foods can protect you from what you can't always feel. You've made it this far, and I promise, the next part might be the most important one yet. You've heard the phrase, out of sight, out of mind. But when it comes to diabetes, what you can't see is exactly what puts you at risk. You may not feel it, you may not notice it right away, but slowly, and sometimes suddenly, things start to change. And by the time you realize it, it can be hard to undo. Let's talk about the damage you can't see until it's too late. If you've ever had a scare, maybe blurry vision, a sudden dizzy spell, or a wound that just wouldn't heal, then you already know how fast things can shift. 1 week you're managing. The next you're at the doctor's office being told your kidneys aren't filtering properly, or your nerves are showing signs of neuropathy. I've seen it happen more times than I can count. A patient comes in for a routine check. They've been feeling fine, no big complaints, maybe a little more tired than usual, maybe some tingling in the feet, maybe a couple of balance issues, but nothing major. Then we run the labs, and that's where the real story is. Diabetes doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, quietly damaging the nerves in your legs, silently building up pressure in your eyes, slowly wearing down your kidney filters, and all the while your body is missing the tools it needs to protect itself, because it's been drained of them. Let me show you how this works. We've already talked about magnesium, thiamine, and omega-3s. Now I want you to think about what those nutrients are trying to protect your nerve endings. Your small blood vessels, your cellular repair systems. When these parts go unsupported, the wear and tear of high blood sugar has no resistance. Let's take nerve damage, for example. The longer your nerves are starved of what they need, the more likely you are to experience peripheral neuropathy. That means numbness, burning, cold sensations, or even loss of feeling in your feet. And that's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. If you step on something sharp and don't feel it, it can become infected. That can lead to ulcers. And in severe cases, it can go as far as amputation. Now let's look at the eyes. High sugar levels and low antioxidant protection increase your risk for diabetic retinopathy, a condition that damages the tiny blood vessels in the back of your eyes. You might not notice it at first. Maybe you need stronger reading glasses. Maybe you squint a little more, but when those vessels start to leak or burst, vision can deteriorate quickly. And the kidneys, perhaps the most silent victims of all. They filter your blood, manage your fluid levels, and keep your electrolytes in balance. But when they're constantly exposed to excess sugar and inflammation, they begin to harden, scar, fail, and when they start to go, the symptoms aren't always obvious. Maybe more swelling in your legs, maybe fatigue, maybe high blood pressure. But by the time your numbers show a drop, the damage is already well underway. That's why this isn't just about symptoms. It's about prevention, about protection, about using food not just to fill you up, but to shield you. And the foods we've discussed so far, they do exactly that. Magnesium helps prevent spasms and supports nerve conduction, helping reduce your risk of neuropathy. Thiamine supports kidney function and reduces oxidative stress, giving your organs a better chance to filter and repair. Omega-3s calm the inflammation that leads to blood vessel damage, protecting your heart and your vision. When you put those nutrients back in your body consistently, you're not just improving how you feel today, you're guarding what you still have. You're building a barrier between you and the complications that take so much away from so many people with diabetes. Let me tell you about one of my patients. We'll call her Jean. Jean was 72, retired school teacher. She came to me after her third fall in 2 months. She didn't break anything, thankfully, but she was scared. Her legs were weak. She had numbness in her toes, and she told me, "Doctor, I'm afraid one more fall will land me in a nursing home." We ran her labs. Her A1C wasn't terrible, just mildly elevated, but she was low on magnesium. Her omega-3 intake was nearly zero. She hadn't been eating much. She said food didn't taste good anymore. We made just a few changes. A magnesium-rich breakfast using oats, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds. A small salmon lunch twice a week. A B1-rich bean soup with dinner. Nothing drastic, but it added up. Within 6 weeks, her balance improved. Within 3 months, her neuropathy stabilized. And she told me something I'll never forget. "I feel like my body's listening to me again." That's the power of nourishment. So now I'll ask you, have you had a warning sign lately? Tingling feet? Wounds taking longer to heal? Swelling in your ankles? Vision that's not quite as sharp as it used to be? If you've experienced any of these, leave a comment. Someone else reading may realize they're not alone. Your story could be the one that saves someone from ignoring their own symptoms. Because here's what I want you to remember. It's not weakness to feel these things. It's a message. Your body is not betraying you. It's trying to get your attention. And the beauty is, even if you've gone years without knowing any of this, you can still start now. The body is incredibly resilient. Even small steps can change your trajectory. And here's one more reason this matters so much. Many of the habits we think are helping us are actually making things worse. In the next part, we're going to talk about common foods and routines that quietly drain your strength, including some you've probably been told were healthy. We'll also go over easy swaps that protect your nutrients instead of stealing them. Because you weren't doing it wrong. You were missing the why. And once you understand that, everything starts to change. By now you understand your body isn't just reacting to age. It's reacting to what's missing, what's draining, and what's being silently stolen every day. And here's something I need to tell you with complete honesty. Some of the habits you've picked up, maybe even the ones you thought were helping, are actually holding you back. Let's start with the one you already suspect: sugar. Not just the obvious white sugar you stir into your tea. I'm talking about the hidden sugars, the ones in sauces, in low-fat yogurts, in healthy granola bars. These sugars cause spikes in your blood sugar, which trigger more insulin, which deepens insulin resistance. But even worse, they increase inflammation and make you lose magnesium faster. That's why after a sugary breakfast your legs might feel heavy, your brain might feel foggy, your energy might drop like a stone. And then there's white bread, toast, buns, even crackers. These foods turn into sugar almost instantly in your body. They provide no fiber, no nutrients, no real fuel, but they do spark a roller coaster. Up and crash, up and crash. Over time they wear your nerves down and make your cravings stronger. You eat more, but feel less satisfied. Sound familiar? Alcohol is another quiet thief. Even a glass or two in the evening can interfere with your blood sugar overnight. And while it might relax you for a moment, it dehydrates you, disturbs your sleep, and blocks your body's ability to absorb B vitamins, especially thiamine, the very nutrient your nerves and kidneys desperately need. Now let's talk about something most people never consider: calcium supplements. If you've been taking calcium daily without balancing it with magnesium, you might be tipping your body into imbalance. Too much calcium without enough magnesium can lead to stiffness, cramps, and even contribute to nerve misfiring. And if your muscles have been tight lately, or you've been constipated despite drinking water, that could be why. Certain medications also drain your nutrients. Diuretics, often called water pills, flush out magnesium and potassium. Some acid reflux meds reduce your ability to absorb B12 and thiamine, and metformin, one of the most common diabetes drugs, can also lower B vitamin levels over time. But this is not about blame. It's about awareness. You were never taught these things. You were handed a list of do's and don'ts, a pill bottle, and a pat on the back, but no one explained the why. And without that, how could you make the right choices for your body? Now you can. Let me show you how small, smart changes can flip the switch from depletion to strength, starting with food swaps that restore instead of remove. Instead of sugary yogurt, choose plain Greek yogurt with cinnamon and a handful of walnuts or chia seeds. You'll get protein, probiotics, magnesium, and omega-3s without the crash. Instead of white bread, reach for sprouted grain toast or half a baked sweet potato. Both are rich in fiber, gentle on blood sugar, and give you steady fuel for your legs and brain. Instead of sugary cereal, try steel-cut oats cooked with almond milk, ground flaxseed, and blueberries. You'll get thiamine, magnesium, antioxidants, and no blood sugar spike. Instead of salty processed snacks, go for roasted pumpkin seeds or hummus with cucumber slices. It satisfies your craving to crunch without damaging your kidneys or nerves. Instead of alcohol every evening, try calming herbal teas like chamomile or ginger. These soothe digestion, reduce inflammation, and help your body rest without stealing nutrients. These aren't sacrifices. They're upgrades. They're how you tell your body, I hear you, I'm with you. And I want to say this clearly: if you're still watching this video, you're already taking control. You may not have all the answers yet. You may still have fears or setbacks or old habits to unlearn. But the fact that you're here, learning, listening, considering, means you are not stuck. You are not passive. You are choosing to act, and that matters. You've already learned how magnesium, thiamine, and omega-3s can repair, protect, and restore. You've seen the foods that deliver them. You've seen how inflammation and hidden habits keep you weak. And now, you're starting to rebuild. Gently. Steadily. But before we wrap up, let me leave you with one last shift. Start treating food not as a reward or restriction, but as information. Every bite you take is a message to your cells. It tells them slow down or speed up, heal or hurt, drain or restore. So ask yourself this: what message do you want to send your legs today? What signal do you want to send your heart, your brain, your kidneys? You're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to get stronger, to feel better, to keep walking. And that's the most powerful kind of goal there is. In our final part, I'm going to give you a simple daily checklist. Nothing overwhelming, just a few proven steps. 3 foods, 1 optional supplement, and 1 habit to avoid that can help you take what you've learned and put it into practice right away. Because knowledge is one thing, but action, even small action, is what moves the needle. And you're already on your way. You've done something powerful just by staying with me this far. Most people stop after the first warning. But not you. You kept going. You listen to what your body has been trying to tell you. And now it's time to take everything we've learned and put it into something you can use every single day. Let's keep it simple. No fad diets, no long shopping lists, just a steady routine that supports your legs, your nerves, your heart, and your future. First, the 3 most important foods you can add today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Number 1, pumpkin seeds. Just one small handful gives your body nearly 40% of your daily magnesium. This mineral supports nerve signals, reduces cramps, and restores the strength you've been missing in your legs. Sprinkle them on soup, mix into yogurt, or snack on them between meals. Make them your daily habit. Number 2, cooked black beans. These aren't just filling, they're fuel for your nervous system. 1 cup provides nearly 30% of your daily thiamine, which your kidneys and brain desperately need. And with all that fiber, they help balance your blood sugar instead of spiking it. Use them in a warm stew or pair them with brown rice and greens. Number 3, wild salmon. If you can eat just 1 3-ounce serving a couple of times per week, you'll feed your body over 1,500 milligrams of omega-3 cis, more than your full daily need. These fatty acids are like a healing oil for inflamed blood vessels, stiff joints, and tired hearts. Bake it, pan-sear it, add lemon, let your body thank you for it later. Now, one optional supplement, if your doctor agrees. Sometimes, even with the best diet, your body needs a little extra help. If you've had ongoing fatigue, neuropathy, or kidney concerns, ask your doctor if a B-complex supplement with thiamine and B12 could help. Not a megadose, just enough to support what's been slipping away over the years. Think of it like filling in the gaps, especially if medications or poor absorption have been wearing you down. And finally, one habit to avoid. If there's one thing you can cut back on right now, make it refined sugar and simple white carbs. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy a treat, but the daily hits, the sugary coffee creamer, the white bread toast, the afternoon cookie, those add up. And every time they spike your sugar, they pull nutrients out of your body and leave your legs weaker. So start small. Replace your sugary snack with something healing. A boiled egg, a few walnuts, a slice of avocado with lemon. You're not depriving yourself, you're rebuilding. And that brings me to something I want you to really take in. You are not just a diabetic. You are not just a number on a chart or a refill on a prescription. You are a whole person, with a story, with strength, and with the ability to change your path. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about returning to who you really are. Before the fatigue, before the heaviness in your legs, before the frustration of trying everything and feeling like nothing worked. Because now you know the why. You understand how magnesium, thiamine, and omega-3 cis protect your nerves, muscles, and organs. You've seen how daily foods, not pills, not promises, can be the very medicine you've been missing. And you've learned what's been quietly draining your strength: hidden sugars, processed grains, certain medications, and nutritional gaps that no one ever warned you about. But now, you're equipped. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a daily rhythm that supports your body from the inside out. One meal, one walk, one supportive choice at a time. So here's your checklist. Keep it simple. 1 magnesium-rich food, daily pumpkin seeds, spinach, avocado. 1 B1/thiamine-rich food, daily black beans, sunflower seeds, peas. 1 omega-3 source, 3-4 times per week, salmon, sardines, walnuts, chia seeds. 1 smart sugar swap, daily ditch 1 sugary food for a healing fat or protein. Optional, ask your doctor about a B-complex supplement if needed. If you can do these things 5 days out of 7, your body will start to notice. Your legs may feel lighter, your mind may feel clearer, your cravings may fade, your sleep may deepen. Not overnight, but slowly and deeply. And if you've ever felt discouraged, like no matter what you try, nothing changes, I want you to hear me now, clearly. You were never failing. You were simply missing the right information. But now you have it. And more importantly, you're using it. You're not just watching videos. You're changing the way your body receives care. You're turning meals into medicine. And you're making choices, not out of fear, but out of self-respect. Because this body of yours, it's still listening. It still wants to heal. It still wants to walk. It still wants to rise. And now it's got a partner in you. So if this helped you in any way, if you learned something new, or felt a little more hopeful, or realized you're not alone, take a moment to like this video, and leave a comment. Tell me which part hit home for you. Tell me which food you're going to start with today. Because there's someone else your age, watching this right now, feeling uncertain, and your comment might be the moment they decide not to give up. You've already taken the first step. Keep going. Your strength is still in you. Let's bring it back, together.